Today we are camping at Longwood Park Campground, just outside of Clarksville, Virginia. We'll be visiting and dining here as we tour this charming city, which is only 8 minutes from our campsite. We visited Lake County Cigar and Wine, where I had wonderful seared scallops, but with a carrot sauce that I didn't really understand. But hey, that did not spoil the delightful flavor of the scallops or the charm and aroma of this cigar-embellished restaurant in its well-stocked humidor. We ate not once but twice at the Pizza Pub, where you can enjoy their aquarium and watch the fishies swim as you await your lunch or dinner. I'm no fan of pretzels, but we did try their specialty, and I must admit, it was pretty tasty.
That's known for their beer cheese pretzels.
Beer cheese pretzels.
The pizza was pretty good too. Good enough that we went back again in the 4 days we spent in Clarksville. We also had lunch at Bridgewater Bar Grill, where I had a deli sandwich and Candy had a lunch steak. It was good, but they served us stale fries. Don't you just hate stale fries? Join us as we tour Clarksville and the surrounding areas. It's going to be a lot of fun.
My dogs and my bride, we're living wild and free. On the road for a wild ride, just my love and me. Moving slow from the hills to the sea. Every mile is a memory, exploring in our travel RV.
Clarksville was the first incorporated town in Mecklenburg County back in 1818. It was named after its founder, Clark Royster. I couldn't find much information on Clark or his wife Lucy, but Clark was responsible for establishing the town located on the Roanoke River, the original home of the Occaneechi Indians. Clarksville can become somewhat of a resort town, as Clarksville is located on Kerr Lake, which here is called Bugs Island, a 50,000-acre lake. It's popular for boating and fishing, especially catfish and many other varieties of freshwater bass. The Virginia Lake Festival is held annually in Clarksville the third week of July, attracting up to 80,000 visitors. Maybe we'll come back for that event one day. It's a really great town to visit. We thoroughly enjoyed our time in Clarksville. Clarksville became known as one of the fastest growing towns in Virginia way back in 1832. Clarksville was a large market and inspection site for leaf tobacco, with a large amount being exported to Europe. A company called R.H. Moss & Brother was a leading exporter and the largest tobacco company in all of Virginia and the Carolinas. Today, Clarksville is a staging point for many fishing tournaments, with as many as 4 different tournaments in a single day. It's a very peaceful area and is close to the Appalachian Trail and Great Smoky Mountains. There are also some great cities nearby that you could visit, such as South Hill or South Boston, or if you don't mind a little bit of a travel, about 45 minutes away, there's Warrenton, North Carolina, which has a charming restaurant and an old hardware store. Candy and I used to spend way too much time at home. We thought it was hard to travel with a half a dozen dogs, right? Well, no. I've learned to adapt to taking our dogs on all of our travels. They go with us everywhere. Like, for example, our first restaurant stop in Clarksville. Although our pups can cause quite a ruckus at home, once in this modified 2-kid stroller, they are perfect little angels.
Okay, we're trying a new place. Lake Country Cigar and Wine. When did you say it opened?
January 8th.
January 8th.
Mm-hmm.
Go on stepping the doggies. Is everybody okay in this car? Yeah, is everybody okay? Yes. Everybody good? Nobody breathing hard? Okay. I'll be out in a few minutes.
Meanwhile, back at Lake Country, my scallops were served and Candy had a chicken salad sandwich and fries.
That tastes like carrots.
Mm-hmm.
It does?
It's a carrot sauce.
My scallops were just an appetizer, but I'm often called upon to finish Candy's meal as she rarely eats it all. I also had a half a chicken salad sandwich and a few fries. It was a really good meal. Lake Country is a place where you can sit down, relax, and have a drink, or a meal if you prefer, or a cigar even from their well-stocked humidor. Lake Country is a new restaurant that has not been time-tested for permanence, but when you head to Clarksville, be sure to stop by and say hello. We will revisit them when we return to Clarksville. While I gave up smoking long ago, I still love the smell of cigar tobacco. So we'll head into their humidor and enjoy the aroma of these finely crafted cigars. I asked the clerk to open the humidor so I could go in and have a visit. It smelled wonderful inside, but I gave it up, so I'll have to stick with just the scent of these cigars. My phone just alerted me that my dog temperature monitoring system battery died, so I'm headed out to check on the dogs.
So it's gotten a little bit warm, and I'm sitting in the car with the dogs with the door open to let some cool air in. I have a temperature system in here that I can monitor from my phone, and its battery got low, so I had to manually monitor the temperature. When I look out the window and I see these little guys panting, I know that it's too hot. And that's what happened. We're parked right here directly in front of where we had our lunch, and I can see exactly what's going on with our dogs because we're sitting right there at the counter. The door's been open, it's cooled off. They've cooled off. They've had some water. This is a great dispenser to carry around if you have dogs. You just hold it down and you press the button and it fills the bowl with water. And they enjoyed it. Right, Cookie? So this here is Cookie. We rescued her from the street. She was trying to dig up something crushed on the highway. And I stopped and got the poor little thing, and she ate almost all my groceries on the way home. I was coming home from the grocery store, and I looked for Cookie, and she and a whole loaf of bread disappeared. She was in terrible shape, but she's a great little puppy now. And this is Nico. He's my pride and joy, and that's Gia. She's my cuddle buddy. That's Gizmo. That was my dad's dog. And Stella, right here. Stella. That's the mother of these white puppies.
Our next stop and our favorite place so far is Pizza Pub. We went there twice during our stay at Longwood Park Campground. Of course, this is our first visit, and it was at lunch the next day. Everything we tried at Pizza Pub was good, and the prices were good as well.
What would you like to drink, sir?
Ice water, please.
With lemon?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
We're at the Pizza Pub in Clarksville, Virginia. We'll let you know.
The restaurant wasn't very busy. I believe we came after lunch. I don't really recall. It's a nice place, though.
It's a really nice looking pizza.
At Pizza Pub. I'll take the little one.
It's a little hard to cut the pizza with one hand and hold the camera with the other. We did enjoy coming to this restaurant, and I highly recommend that you check them out when you go to Clarksville. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the city now. I'm going to do a little walk around right after I finish this slice of pizza, and we'll go take a look at some of the buildings. The Pizza Pub is located at the corner of 4th and Virginia, where 4th Street leads to the marina about a mile or so up the road. Also at this corner is one of Clarksville's historic district homes, originally built around 1890. A document from the Clarksville Historic District describes this as the original home of J.P. Taylor. It's a 2-story, 4-bay Queen Anne style dwelling with a corner tower. The home was modified around 1950 to include 2 storefronts, which were built and once housed Vivian's Beauty Shop and Bass Barber Shop. As I look now, it appears to have a security fire company and a embroidery shop called Bugs Island Baby. I noticed that many of the older buildings have commemorative historical wall plaques marking what I believe is the original function of each historical building as they were first occupied. I'm researching this as I do my narration, but so far I'm not finding much information in the form of noteworthy information to include. As I continue to narrate this video, maybe I'll find some worthwhile info, but for now it's mostly a visual tour. The commemorative plaques are pretty interesting to note, though, as you walk the streets in Clarksville. In front of the council chambers, there is a sign with a QR code that you can scan, and it will likely take you to a web page featuring Clarksville attractions. I didn't have my phone handy, but it's pretty obvious what this QR code is for. Next, we have the First State Theater, which was built in 1940, but it's now part of Town Hall. The building was also used as a church, the House of Prayer, before it became part of Town Hall. The real estate market in Clarksville must be hopping. There seems to be a real estate office on almost every block. However, this building was originally the Crowder Brothers General Store. Bolden Crowder and his brother operated a clothing and general store at this location. Bolden was born in 1879 and passed away in 1967. Up next is Heights, I believe that's how you pronounce it, clothing store. They have been an established and rooted company in Clarksville for over 50 years. Because I had my dogs, I didn't go into the store, but I understand that it's a very nice store inside and has a long history here in Clarksville. I'll show you a few more scenes from downtown, and then we'll move on to other areas. We were anxious to try the Bugs Island Brewing Company. The parking lot was full, so there was anticipation for us. It was quite high. We decided to visit, but only after I had toured the streets of Clarksville, pushing a stroller full of 5 dogs up and down those hills. I was a little tired, to say the least, and was ready to sit down, relax, and have a meal. But once we settled in, we realized there was no waitress or waiter service. You had to get your own menus, order your own food, and serve yourself at your own table. Being tired from walking the streets of Clarksville, we decided to try another place. Maybe next time we'll go to the Bugs Island Brewing Company before we do a lot of walking around. Maybe next time.
It's basically self-serve. You got to stand in line to get your food. If you want a beer, you got to go up to the counter and get one. So we're going to go try someplace else. So, no negative words about Bugs Island Brewery, but we just didn't want to self-serve. So it might be an excellent place to go.
It was packed.
It was a lot of people there, but we want to be waited on. So we're going to go someplace else.
And there was no menu.
Yeah, and there was no menu either.
You might have to ask for it, but you had to wait in line. And I don't wait in lines.
Not far from Bugs Island Brewery, basically across the street, there is Bridgewater Bar and Grill. The restaurant was nice and clean and the service was good. It could have been a perfect meal. I ordered a nice deli sandwich and Candy ordered a lunch steak. While waiting for the order, I decided to go check on our dogs, which I always do. I'm kind of obsessive in protecting them.
Hey, you guys being good? Yeah? You being good?
Fortunately on this trip, the days were mostly cool and rolling down each window a little was enough to keep the car cool for the dogs. But on a hotter day, the AC would be running and I would remotely monitor the temperature from my phone. In our new vehicle, a 2025 Ford Maverick Hybrid, the AC is powered by battery and can keep the truck cool for the dogs, only starting the engine when the battery needs a boost. It's a great feature for traveling with dogs.
Hey.
It's me, Candy, the doggy mommy.
I was going to take the dogs for a walk.
You gonna keep there?
Huh?
Keep the car there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was telling Candy that after we eat, she could sit there and have a drink while I took the dogs for another walk on the streets of Clarksville to the north, which we hadn't seen yet on Virginia Avenue. The food arrived and it was beautiful looking, but those stale fries reduced the meal from a solid 8 to an unsatisfying 5. Maybe next time we'll give it another try and the fries will be fresh. After lunch, we decided to take a drive to Chase City, which is only about 20 minutes from downtown Clarksville. The only stop we made at Chase City was at Food Lion to get some distilled water for the motorhome. Chase City likes to boast that it is the best small town to discover, and they claim to have an event with outdoor music and a nice golf course for those golfers among you. We found Chase City uneventful, but there's only so much you can discover in a simple drive-through, never leaving the car except to buy the water. We mostly checked out the downtown streets and a few of the residential streets. Then we headed back towards Clarksville, where we saw a sign that said Prestwood Plantation, and we decided to check it out. After a short drive off the main highway, you will arrive at the plantation driveway. As with many plantations, it is well set back from the main road. They have a large parking area in front of the plantation and a sign there outlining the hours and prices of admission. It's quite a nice property with a walled plantation and gates. Prestwood Plantation was built at the end of the 18th century in a post-revolutionary Georgian-style estate. It is located on the bluffs above the Roanoke River. Restoration was managed by Dr. Julian Hudson, who has worked as the executive director of Prestwood Foundation. He has overseen the restoration of this historic property by leading preservation specialists. Sir Peyton Skipwith and Lady Jean relocated to Virginia in the year 1794. You could actually feel the presence and calm of isolation at this estate, which was primarily used as a rural family retreat for the wealthiest of Virginians. This plantation and the property was quite fulfilling to see as plantations go, along with the slave families that lived in the 2 family houses to the right of the property. 4 generations of the Skipwith family would call Prestwood Plantation their home. The surviving buildings include the main house, the summer house, the office loom house, storehouse, and smokehouses, and of course the slave houses. Unfortunately, we could not tour the home inside as it was in a restoration phase and not operating as a museum. We do plan to go back when we revisit Clarksville again. Prestwood is documented as the most complete gentry home in Virginia. Many of the original buildings and Lady Jean's garden remain. You can sense how it might have felt to be alive in the early 1800s as you walk the grounds of this property. The main house is in remarkably good condition, except for the wood porch railings and trim. We didn't get a chance to go inside, but I can imagine it's quite stately looking inside. We'll just have to wait until we revisit Prestwood. When we return, I'll look forward to it. If you have seen or toured this property, please tell us about it in the comments, as Candy is somewhat of a romantic when it comes to old structures and history. She'd love to hear your comments. After Prestwood, we would return to Clarksville, crossing the Bugs Island Lake that enters peacefully on the Clarksville's southwesterly side of town, headed to the northeast at the beginning of the town. It's a nice and peaceful town and well worth time to visit. There are many churches in Clarksville, and some of them are interesting to visit, such as Clarksville Presbyterian Church, which is right on the main road, Virginia Avenue. There are a variety of places to shop, including a marketplace Dollar General, where one can get fresh eggs, bacon, and a reasonable supply of dinner groceries, batteries, or even some camping accessories. Before leaving Clarksville, we drove around the town and shopping center once more. Then we would drive back to the campground and get packed up to head back home. Good old Hertford, North Carolina, where we live now on the peaceful waters of the Albemarle Sound. Maybe I'll show you where we live in the next video. But for now, plan your camping trip to Longwood Park Campground and be sure to pick out a great campsite by watching the Part A of the series. Longwood Park Campground Part A, the campground, is what you should look at to find your campsite. Every series includes a Part A and a Part B, covering the campground first in Part A, and then details of the local attractions follow in Part B. I always cover everything in great detail so that you can focus on the places to go when you leave your campsite to explore, especially places to eat and dog-friendly attractions you can visit. Be sure also to check out our North Bend area series, specifically Part 2, to see the town of Warrenton, North Carolina, which is a charming town like Clarksville, and it has a very special sandwich shop located in an almost untouched old hardware store back in the days where nails were sold out of large metal baskets. I remember helping my Uncle Patsy load up brown paper bags by the handful as he needed nails to build homes and garages in the late 50s and 60s. I'm doing my best to keep this channel going while being side-saddled with my cancer and chemo treatments. which should be final and complete about 3 weeks from the date of this video release. I'm hoping and expecting for a full remission and will be hitting the road again to bring you charming places that your family can visit. Our next adventure will be in New Bern, North Carolina, and we'll be hitting the road again to bring you a charming visit to one of my favorite places. We did visit earlier this year, but the older GoPro camera, Hero 9, that I was using completely failed right in the middle of our visit to New Bern. Well, I'm sorry to say the time has come to say goodbye. Please help us out by liking this video and subscribing. I hope you will share our travel videos with your friends, as I really enjoy bringing you these videos. There's not much in it for Candy and I except the pure joy of sharing our adventures. Showing you our travels and adventures is our total pleasure. Please do subscribe so you never miss an episode. We'll be hitting the road again in a few weeks after my last chemo treatment. The process of rebuilding my strength will be an event I'll work on as we hit the road. Chemo and cancer can sure take a lot out of you, but it's worth it, especially if you are one of the lucky ones that find the hope of remission. I hope you will join Candy and I on our next travel adventure. I may have a few more videos for you before we hit the road again to New Bern to recapture the video that was lost on our last visit. New Bern is the hometown where Pepsi Cola was born, and I'll take you inside the drugstore that invented Pepsi. Please subscribe and join us on our next adventure on the road. I'll be seeing you again soon.